Let's talk about a fantastic Hero Factory Breakout set, and that's Voltix. We'll discuss why the set is great, how you can use the pieces that come in this set in your own LEGO creations, and we'll show off some cool revamps of this character as well. Let's dive in. Voltix is a wacky and really fun villain, with a sick yellow electricity whip, lightning coursing all over his body, and a very out there colour scheme of purple, red, blue, yellow, gunmetal, and black. He's loud and he's proud and he's in your face. You know, Hero Factory sets, they did a really good job of packing so much character and personality into every toy. And Voltix, well, he's got a lot of that. All these colors and wires and lightning, he borders on having a little bit too much going on. His design could be a little bit too busy, you know? But it kind of works in his favor, doesn't it? There's something about this that communicates a lot of his personality to you. He's wild, he can't be tamed. He'll zap you, he'll destroy the city, he's unpredictable, he's a crazy villain. And all of that's communicated in how this is made and how it's built. That's good character design. Now look, any Breakout Hero Factory set, it's gonna be a good one. It's the best wave of Hero Factory. So yeah, Voltix, I think he's a pretty cool set, but the best part about this set happens to be the pieces that come in this set. There's some good stuff. First up, you get a nice handful of purple pieces in this set. Well, you know, it's only 3 pieces, which in the grand scheme of things isn't really that much. But the purple parts you do get, well, they're fantastic pieces. This shoulder or knee armor piece in purple is probably the highlight of this entire set. If you wanted to use this in a mock, do what Dylan Meaves has done here on his G2 remake of the Nui Jaga. So here they are resting just around these pincers. You know, I find this piece has a lot of different uses, and it's incredibly easy to integrate it into pretty much any type of creature or character. And don't these subtle pops of purple just look very delightful? This is a great mock. Now you also get a nice purple torso piece. I actually used this in an old Makuta mock that I made, which of course was inspired by Shockwave from Transformers. But yeah, this piece is used here on the torso, and actually with this mock it was very challenging to make this pretty much 100% purple. So having a really large armor piece that I could slap on the front of the torso, that helped quite a lot. Just because the piece is a lot bigger, it helped me really like mass out a large area, and I had to use slightly less purple pieces, because, you know, stuff like the legs, it's really jam-packed full of a lot of smaller purple Technic parts. So getting this piece in purple, game changer. Oh yeah, and you can also see that I'm using the same shoulder armor piece we were looking at before, and it's being used as shoulder armor, but it's also being used as leg armor down below. I'm telling you, man, it's a blessing that you get all of these lovely purple pieces in this set. Purple is such a good color. Another great piece that comes in this set are all of the different lightning pieces that are attached around Voltix's head design. Vorox has a mock here that's called Zed, and it uses some of these pieces. Yeah, creating a spine design that's made entirely out of electricity? That's just splendid. This mock almost kind of has some like Rakshi vibes going on. You know, the spine, the hunched back, just the rough look of it. You know, the idea of making a Rakshi that has lightning powers and their spine is just made out of lightning? That's a sick idea. Now, sure, this mock isn't actually a Rakshi, but still, the lightning pieces here, they're integrated very well, especially when you pair them with all of these different yellow washer pieces that are scattered all throughout this mock. Oh, and look, we also have another example of using some of those purple armor pieces that we saw before. Like I said, man, very, very versatile piece. Ben's Bricks also uses these pieces on a mock, and I love how he utilizes the fact that this piece starts off in gunmetal and then transitions into these different shades of yellow and blue. Using it in this context, the lightning looks like it's sparking out or sort of stemming out of some armor. It's a clever way to integrate that piece. You know, plus the fact that this mock is basically just like a containment suit for some kind of lightning elemental or lightning creature. I think that's a really original and really creative idea. And these lightning pieces, along with some of the other like electricity pieces down on the legs here, that's kind of the perfect way to communicate this. Magnificent stuff. And we can see the shoulders and the legs here, they both use that exact same armor piece, but this time in gunmetal. Now Voltix actually does come with this piece in gunmetal, you get 2 of them in this set. So if you wanted to use this piece in that color, maybe do something similar to this rocker revamp that was made by Kainsey MOCs. Just popping one of them onto the shoulder design, it's sick. The asymmetry of a larger armored shoulder next to a slimmed down skinny shoulder on the other side, it's good stuff. It gives off some really cool like soldier or warrior vibes. I really like how that looks, and it'd be pretty easy for you to do something similar yourself. Finally, you get this lovely yellow whip piece in this set. We've seen this piece appear in a few other different colors, in a couple different Bionicle sets, as well as some Hero Factory sets too. So let's see how we could use this piece in a mock, no matter what the color is. Dylan Meaves has a Kalma mock here that reimagines the character as a larger squid. So yeah, okay, this piece is a whip in this set, but this piece originally, when it first appeared, was more of a tentacle. And seeing so many of them together like this to form this just mesh of orange tentacles, it looks great. So if you're able to get a large supply of this piece, use it to make some kind of creepy creature like a kraken or a Cthulhu mock. Or, you know, just a squid or an octopus very similar to what this is. That's one use for it. Otherwise, Mitch Builds has used this piece here on a mock called Mark. Using 2 of them for alien tentacle hands, that's smart. The suction cup kind of squishy look that they originally have, of course it's perfect for an underwater character, but it's also equally perfect for an alien. Very different contexts, but that piece works great for either one. So maybe you yourself could build a yellow alien and do something pretty similar. Alright, now that we've seen how we can use the pieces that come in this set, let's see how we can actually revamp and reimagine the character. Dylan Meaves has made this awesome Voltix revamp. Now first off, a subtle samurai vibe for Voltix? Well, it's something that I wasn't expecting to work so well for this dude. Because hot dang, it looks fantastic! It's a very different approach to the character, but you know, it's always nice to see a revamp really treading new ground and trying out new stuff. Because like this, you might reach some sort of unexpected conclusion and realize, oh, actually, hey, this is wonderful. So try random weird stuff that you think won't work, because it might. Hey, on that, could you imagine a whole Hero Factory wave of just like Shogun samurai warriors? Oh, that'd be so cool. Anyway, the color scheme here. The set had the red and blue wires on it, but Dylan has extended that idea even further and made one side blue and one side red. Yeah, that's really fun. It's a nice way to advance on what was already there on the character, but also a really good way to continue those electricity vibes. You know, the colors represent like positive and negative currents to some degree. I also really enjoy this cool purple crown that's resting above the head. Dylan just nailed this revamp of Voltix. And then the All-Seeing Eye has a revamp of Voltix, and this one's got a really great like rock and roll vibe going on. I love that on this creation, the lightning pieces that, you know, flow down from the mask. In this context, it almost reminds me of like really long hair that you often see on different types of rock stars, especially like guitarists and stuff. I don't know if that was the intention, but that's at least what I see, and I think that's clever. And you know, certain rock stars in history, they've been bad boys. And then the idea of Voltix being like a punk rock superstar who turned to a life of crime or just keeps doing whatever they want in the spirit of rock and roll, but is maybe taking it a little bit too far. That works really well for the world of Hero Factory. And hey, even using his wires and his electricity to power up and maybe amp up his guitar, that's another clever use of his powers. This is just a winning combination right here. Now, something else that's great about this like rock and roll version is that it pairs off nicely with Breakout Stringer. He had a similar like guitar and rock and roll aesthetic. So I love the idea of the two rock star characters fighting it out against each other. Now, the All-Seeing Eye actually took a lot of inspiration from another mock that has a similar aesthetic. This is by Bob the Doctor 27, and we can see a pretty similar like guitar and a very similar approach of really honing in on the speakers and the rock and roll vibe. The parallels there are really fun. I mean, you see that all the time with superheroes. The villain and the hero, they have a relationship of some kind, and often they're a bit of a like antithesis of the other guy, a dark reflection. So a hero mock and a villain mock being so similar to one another, it's only fitting. It just makes their rivalry so much more electric and so much more palpable. So there you go, that's a couple different revamps of Voltix. That's how you can use the pieces in this set in your own creations, and that's why this set is wonderful. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to check the links in the description below and see more from the builders that I featured in this episode. Otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you pick up Voltix and you make some cool mocks with his pieces as well. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.